Welcome back to Sunday Night in America. The Fitch Ratings agency downgraded the U.S. debt rating from AAA to AA plus. Still sounds pretty good to me, but the news met with some stiff resistance. After all, it's only the second time this has ever happened, so why? And why now? Fitch says the downgrade is due to a steady decline in fiscal matters and what it calls governance issues. But the U.S. has had a debt problem for quite some time, and there have been shutdowns and rumors of shutdowns for decades now. So, again, why now? Joining us now to weigh in on this ratings impact and what it means to you is the investor and chairman of O'Leary Ventures, Mr. Kevin O'Leary. Welcome to you, sir. I guess, let me first ask, how big of a deal is this downgrade and why?
Well, it's impossible to paint this downgrade with a positive brush in any way at all. It is a big deal because anytime you have a rating agency downgrade your economy, which is essentially what's going on here, it's everything. It's the U.S. dollar, it's the Treasury bill, it's the faith in the U.S. government to repay its bills. So when we go to market around the world to issue debt to finance deficits at government, there's less confidence, period. There's no other way to put it. Now, if it downgrades again from AA to single A, that means it gets worse. And if ever the world thinks we're unable to pay our bills and would default on them, that's when it's all over. And we're so far from that right now, but it's the beginning of the cracks in that faith that you have to be concerned about.
All right, well, I remember in a previous life sleeping on a couch in an office building on the Capitol, missing holidays because we were in the throes of a shutdown. I mean, that's when I wanted to downgrade our credit worthiness, is when I started like missing holidays, but we didn't do it then. So why now? I mean, why was $25 trillion in debt okay, but when we get close to 30, now it's got to be downgraded?
It's because of the percentage of GDP. Government shutdowns have nothing to do with credit ratings. That's more about politicians beating each other up, trying to get concessions on their spending bills. And that's been going on forever. And everybody knows in the last hour, because they've seen that movie so many times before, they're going to come to some resolution. That's happened over and over and over again, and it'll happen again. Whatever the last hour is, miraculously, politicians will come out off the hill saying, we've saved it, we've figured it out. But that's almost a boring dance at this point. This is something different. This is, in aggregate, the amount of debt that the U.S. government is borrowing versus its propensity to be able to pay it back. And the way you really want to watch the canary in the coal mine is simply to look at the long bond. Anything long duration on treasuries. If rates start to creep up there, that's faith eroding. In other words, you've got to pay more to convince people outside the United States and other foreign governments, including China for that matter, to be paid more interest, to take the risk of financing U.S. deficits. And that's where there's a lot of people like me getting concerned. Whatever you say, no matter how you put it, or even if you ignore it, you can't say this is good news. There is no good news here. Zero. Because somebody out there is saying, wait a second, it used to be triple, now it's double. What's next?
All right, I want to end with maybe a little bit of good news. The stock market seemed to be rallying a little bit first 6 or 7 months of this year, and then after this ratings downgrade came, the market's had a couple of like iffy days. Do you think the market is going to continue to do well for the duration of the year, or is this Fitch rating going to kind of tap down people's enthusiasm?
It's a bit of a dampener, but the reason the S&P 500 has done so well is that if you really look at government spending over the next 36 months, by the IRA, the Inflation Reduction Act, and the CHIPS Act, you've got billions of dollars not yet printed, and the only target for all that money is not Main Street America, it's the S&P 500. So if you're an S&P 500 company, you're going to be flush with cash for the next 3 years because government is printing like crazy for you, regardless of sector. But if you're a small guy in Des Moines, Iowa, or in Champaign-Urbana, you've got some big problems because that car loan that used to pay 5% for is now sitting between 7, 8, 9, and even 10% on AAA credits. And so you've got a really big problem starting to emerge in the mainstream America, which is small business, which represents 60% of the economy. 40% of the jobs in America come from the S&P 500, and that's great. But the real economy is ma and pa, first generation, second generation family businesses, where 60% of jobs are created, and they've got big issues on the cost of capital. They can't even get loans because regional banks now are under pressure to stop lending. And this is all coming to a theater near you this fall. So I'm sure people on the Hill are going to start focusing on that pretty soon, right after they get back from the recess.
Mr. Kevin O'Leary has a remarkably good understanding of the way Washington works, but he's way too smart to go serve up on the Hill. Thank you for joining us on a Sunday night and loaning us your expertise.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.